In this video of vocabulary story, today I'm going to talk about my experience that I had yesterday. Yesterday, I had a conversation with a long standing colleague of mine, although we did not work in the same place, but I think I met her some 6 years ago, 7 years ago, while she was working, and I uh, happened to come into contact with her through our offices. We had some project work, so we both came into touch with each other, and we've had a good, healthy working relationship ever since. All right, she's much elder to me. She has been a teacher for the last 10 years. So yesterday I went over there for some work, and we had an amazing conversation about content creation. Okay, she asked me that one of her students came to her, and that student of hers asking told her that the student that she wants to become an RJ, or she wants to do some content creation into making videos in YouTube and Instagram and so on and so forth. All right. So we were having this discussion about why exactly is the Gen Z or the younger generation, all right, they are somehow not going down the road of formal education, but largely choosing this idea, or largely choosing this way of content creation. So why exactly is this happening? Okay, and I used a word very aptly in that conversation. That is something that I want to share in this video. All right, so first of all, before answering that question, I asked for her permission that the answer is going to be long. Are you going to listen to me? And the reason why I asked this was because usually when people ask you a question, they don't listen to the answer, or they half listen to the answer, or they are somehow framing an argument for replying in their head while you're speaking. Okay, so that answer was going to be long because I myself have pondered upon this question too much to not have an answer. All right, so get this: the society in contemporary Bharat is divided into three parts. Okay, so the first part is the privileged section. Okay, people who are extremely loaded, people who have all the conveniences, all the facilities that they could ever have. They are inflation proof. These are the people who did not have to stand in lines during demonetization to get some money out of the ATMs, some money out of the banks. They already had elaborate arrangements for it. Okay, so that is the privileged portion, or the privileged section of our society. All right. Now, education for them, that is the privileged section, is something. It is just something that they do. There is no education is not a means towards any end for them, because they know they have a well settled business, they have a well settled enterprise. Even if they go to Ivy League schools in the US or the UK, they are going to come back and they are going to handle the family business or the legacy business that they have. And there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not criticizing them for it. We cannot blame them for being born into a privileged family. It was their destiny. All right. So for them, education is something that they do to pass their teenage years or even adult years. They go to some amazing colleges. They pay some extravagant fees. Now, this was the first part of the population. Second one is the middle class, that I'm going to come to it later. And the last one is the underprivileged class, people who live below the poverty line. They have no facilities, they live from hand to mouth. Okay, the daily wage earners, the laborers, they get paid in the evening, and by the time the next morning has come, they've already exhausted their money. Okay, so those are the people who live below the poverty line. For them, education means nothing. The moment their child turns 10 or 11 and physically capable to do some labor work, they will send their child for labor work. Now, in between, we have a very vast area that is occupied by the working class or the middle class. Okay, historically, these are the people who have viewed education as a means to an end. What is that end? That is to earn money, to earn subsistence, to give themselves better life, better lifestyle. Okay, so education in a way is a means to an end. Okay, education itself was not the end for working class. Now, what has happened in the last decade due to proliferation of internet, mobile devices and a lot of content creation, especially after the COVID, I would say, is people have increasingly started to believe that this indeed has potential to give them a better lifestyle, to earn money. Okay, so the people who have gotten into content creation, they are operating under the assumption that through content creation they can completely bypass the need to educate. Yes, the word for this vocabulary story was bypass, meaning you do not need to educate yourself. If you can create some videos, create some content on Instagram or on YouTube, you will not need education as a means to earn money. You can simply just create content and earn money. Now, the reason why people believe this is we have some examples of people who have been modestly educated, or in some cases not at all educated, not even having a grade 10 certificate, and they are making quite good money on the internet. Okay, so this democratizing the way of earning money has, I would say, social media and internet, we can thank them, but at the same time, a lot of people, a lot of students from the younger generations, especially Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they have accepted that content creation could be a way to bypass education and replace education as a means to an end, that is money.